Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Except, you know what? The only open fires in this country are the ones that are illegally lit because we got a total fire ban. You know how it is in bushfire season. It is 35 degrees Celsius. It is Boxing Day, possibly my favorite day on the calendar. And I hope you're well. If it's your Christmas afternoon or evening, if you're in the US or Canada or the UK or anywhere else in the world, I hope you're having a great one. If, like the rest of us, you're here in the future and it's Boxing Day morning and you're kicking back, getting ready to sink some tinnies and watch some cricket, I hope you're doing well as well. My name is Pete. This is Studio Live today, and this is something just a bit random and fun. We're just doing a bit of a very casual Christmas hangout here today. So if you've got questions, you can chuck them here in the chat. I've got a bunch of topics to rant about and talk about, and a few little things going on, and some surprises and some folks to say thank you to. We're brought to you by me today, so no sponsors or anything except for myself. So a big shout out first. We got we just hit 52 patrons, so we've got Russ, Doctor's Orders have just joined us over on the Patreon family, and we've got some cool stuff happening in the next week, and also into 2021 over at Patreon, so go to patreon.com/PeteJohns if you want to check out what goes on over there. Let's say good day to the folks who have taken a break from their Merry Christmas. I've got the Merry Christmas coffee here today. Cheers. I've just been for a walk, hence the hat line. Very sexy hat line going on there, and the shiny spot on the head from where I was sweating. See, all the information that you need. All right, let's have some coffee. This is not my Studio Live Today mug. This is my Create, Record, Release Special Edition mug. Not available in stores. But if you do want some Studio Live Today swag, head on over to studiolivetoday.com/merch. In fact, what I'll do is during this show, I'll create a promo code and we'll give you some discount because I haven't done that in a while. And for those watching live or watching the replay, we'll do that. Remind me to do that. So if you're looking to get a Studio Live Today shirt or mug, then you can pick one up for cheap. What's up, Groovers? It's Jade Star. Jade is in the house. We've got Nina here. Hello, Nina. Hope you're doing well. Cold Acre. Hello. And there's some stuff we need to find out about here because how's your head? Fuzzy. And today is officially the second day of Petemas. Yes, it's beginning to look a lot like Petemas. Yeah, I went super easy, actually. I know it's a long time, and you know what? Boxing Day is my day. That's my time to shine. So yes, there will be, I think you said it down here, tinnies and cricket. That's what we'll be doing here today. Ed Zielinski, Ed Z, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. The Toolmat. I've never been from Christmas past before. Hope you had a great Christmas. We're about to open presents. Well, don't let me stop you. By the way, please, if you're sitting there and your family's trying to get your attention and you're sitting there on your phone watching this dude, nah. You gotta go. Sorry, you can catch up on the replay. But if you're between things and you just want to chat about some music for a while, join the fun and hang around. Who else we got here? Arnie G. Arnie G's in the house. I think I saw Russ sneak in. G'day. Hello to you. Yes, Stu's there. I said Stu. Maffey's Garden. How's things up in Queensland, mate? You get some backyard cricket. I saw your pitch. It's looking pristine, mate. It's looking absolutely magnificent. When all this crap goes away, definitely want to get up to Queensland. I'm coming to your place, mate, and we're going to play some cricket and drink some 4X in your backyard. I've just invited myself, so sorry about that. Tom Rochelle is in the house. I'm not sure if I said good day to you, but if I didn't, Bruce something. I love it. Love some of the names that pop up here. Merry Christmas to you. Dwight Bailey in the house. Very, very cool. Well, we've got some questions coming in, so we'll start on with the questions. Maffey, yep, cricket's on today, exactly. Hopefully you're watching the test, and then when you're not watching, you're listening to the ABC grandstand in the backyard while you're playing cricket. That's kind of going to be my vibe, is that morning, going to watch the first session, like right there, every ball, which is why I'm doing this show now. At 10 o'clock, I'll be out like that. So an hour and a half, I'm gone. That's it. Hard finish, because I'm going to go watch the first ball of the cricket. Oh, excuse me. I haven't spoken live for a couple of days. So I've forgotten how to speak, apparently. Ed Z, I see your question there. We'll grab that in a second. Cool. I've got an open invitation. I'll be popping up to Matt's place, playing some cricket. Yes, and I echo. I'll grab that question in a sec. I echo Tom's sentiments here. I hope everyone had a happy Christmas and Santa brought you everything you wanted. Absolutely. And yeah, like Christmas is a good time, and I love it. Like I said, Boxing Day is kind of my jam. But yeah, the Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day, and seeing your family, especially in a year like this, it's a good thing. And whether you're celebrating virtually or physically or anything in between, hope you're being safe and well. And yeah, if you exchange some presents, then that's a good thing. I want to ask a question up front here, and that is, what did you get? Did anyone get anything musical? I saw that our buddy Steve, one of the admins over on GarageBand users, got a USB microphone and a Lightning to USB 3. So that's very cool. We'll look forward to some more vocals from Steve to go along with his synth work. But what did you get? I got something pretty exciting, which I'll tell you about a little bit later, because it's live music related. Yes. Live music is coming back here in Australia. And yeah, I'll be going somewhere in February, which looks like it's going to be pretty cool with some pretty cool bands that many of my Australian friends here will know about. But we'll get to that as we go through. Let's have a look. We've got Muffin says, no, I'm more of a gamer, not really a musical. Well, there you go. Hopefully you got some good gaming stuff. And I know that Capsalam is also a gamer. So hopefully if you didn't get that, hopefully you got some gaming gear. Got some nice mechanical keyboards and WASD keys. And I clearly know nothing about gaming. I'm very sorry. Very sorry indeed. What have we got here? So we have John Keel says, I treated myself to a new tremolo system for my Strat. See, this is why I need to buy a Strat, John. I need to get the tremolo going on, because I don't have any guitars with a tremolo at the moment. No whammy bars in my life. And you know what? Yeah, I need to play some metal, and I need a whammy bar to metal it up. Russ got Geo Shred. There you go. Nice. Yeah. What apps did you get? There's a lot of apps out at the moment. I noticed that Patrick mentioned that Blease's his app of the year. Sorry to spoil it if you want to go watch the video, but was the Alpha from Blease, and I don't own it, and I might buy it. Maybe I'll buy it right here on the stream because I want to support some cool developers as we go through. Wolfstone got the M Audio Key Station 49. That baby right there. Yeah. M Audio Key Station 49. It is the best thing. It is the best balance. If you're looking for a MIDI keyboard, the M Audio Key Station 49 Mark III is just the best. It's totally the best balance. Jade's prime for the cricket. I know, right? Bring it on. Cricket's on. All right, Ed, what do you got here? Ed's got audio interface anxiety, which is never good. How concerned should I be about the difference in noise level and sound quality between mixers at the 100 to 150 range? So my answer on this stuff is, do you need a mixer? So I would first, if you're in the market to get an audio interface or a mixer, so the difference between your audio interface and your mixer, audio interface is for anything you're pre-recording. You've got, say, your Steinberg UR22C that I talk about, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. You've got two inputs. You can record up to two things at once, and then you can mix them and master them and do the things in your digital audio workstation. The only time I'd say you need a mixer is if you're doing live stuff. So live performances, live streaming, you want to mix things down live. You want to have control. So I've got a mixer that I'm using right now here so that I can just bring in different things. If I want to play music, I can bring the music in here via my PC. Or my Mac, as it turns out. I've got my iPad plugged in. So for instance, if I play this, is that going to work? Yeah, there you go. I can play my iPad because that's coming in on a different channel. And if I just had a two-channel audio interface, obviously I can't play stereo stuff through. Now, in terms of, to answer your question, the difference in sound quality and noise, it's there. So if you are discernible, so let's compare. So I've got this Samson mix pad. In fact, let's get into the weeds here because I need to share my screen anyway. So we'll get into some quick comparison, and I'll hopefully allay yours and maybe some other folks' fears. Let's come over to Google. There you go. Google is celebrating. Ba-da-ba-doom. And we'll go to everyone's favorite website, of course, studiolivetoday.com/gear. It's weird. I use this to reference all the time for my own stuff because I'm like, wait, what did I recommend again? What do I use? Yeah. So my current mixer, if we go down, actually I might have replaced it. Did I replace it or no? But mixer interface. Yeah, because I've only just started using the Samson again. Do I even have it in here? Mixers. Yeah, I do. Samson Mixpad. All right, so this is the mixer that you're hearing me through right now. It's $179 bucks, actually US dollars, so it's a lot more than that here in Australia, but it's around that 180 mark. So What do you get here? Well, you get 4 XLR inputs, you get full gain control, you get high-pass filters on all of those, you get your EQ on every channel, you get your compressor on the first 2, you've got your faders here, which I love because I can just quickly fade in and out if I need to. You've got stereo channels here coming in 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got 4 of those stereo channels, so I can plug in my iPhone, my iPad, more stuff than I possibly could. You've got metering on here, which I like, clip metering, phantom power, and as well you can bring in the USB. So that's why you can hear the audio coming through. So if I played something, let's just do this. Let's just go, let's go to YouTube and let's play something that I know I'm not going to get a hit on, because we'll go to Jade Star and we'll just find a Jade Star tune. Oh man, I should have put something in. It's over. So if we just play this, you can hear that I can play that straight through, and I can turn that down, and then I can turn it back up. So yeah, you've got that sort of control. So now, in terms of quality, these preamps are pretty good, but they're not quite up there. So in terms of the quality of the preamp, these preamps are good, but they're not at the level of the Steinberg UR22 or a Focusrite Scarlett. The Steinberg have the Yamaha D-Pre's in them, the D preamps, which are really nice. Focusrite have their own, I can't remember the name that Focusrite have, but they've both got good quality preamps. These are not quite as good, and the sound output, the audio analog to digital conversion and digital to analog, is not quite as good, especially this Samson. It's only 16-bit. So that doesn't bode well. It's okay. You can hear me on it now. Like, most people won't notice. But the difference there is, if you go for something like, you know, my favorite audio interface, USB, Steinberg UR22C. So you're paying almost the same amount. I'll just move your question away there, Ed, so we can see what's going on. You're paying almost the same amount, and you're only getting 2 inputs, and you're not getting all that control. You're not getting your compressor. You're not getting your EQ. But you're getting, the reason that you get better quality is you don't get all those features. So anytime you're comparing 2 things, mixer versus interface, and they're both $200, and you're thinking, you know, which one's going to have better quality? Almost always going to be the audio interface, because they're putting all of the dollars into the inputs and into the analog to digital converter. So if you're having stresses about that and you're thinking, what's the right decision for me? If you're not doing stuff live, get an audio interface. If you're doing live stuff, it may well be worth trading off that little drop in audio quality for the flexibility of being able to, like, just bring stuff up to be able to come in here and just play Jade Star screaming. So that's my take on that. Hopefully that helps you and anyone else who's in that in between, because I know it's tough. It's hard to work out what to do. Who else have we got here that we need to say Merry birthday and Happy Easter and Christmas Pockets? All 4 Pockets apps are on sale. There you go. We'll jump in. Maybe we'll do a bit of an app review. Jade, you can help. I know you're not doing a show today, but you can maybe help me with a bit of an app review. Actually, in your How to App, you've got your link, haven't you? Maybe I should do a live check of the link to the apps. What's that thing called? You know what I'm trying to say. We'll do it in a minute. We'll just make sure we say hello to everyone else. So, Sion in the house. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, did everyone get what they want for Christmas? I did. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really want much. I just wanted to hang out, and yeah, it's been an interesting year. In fact, I've got a question about that in a moment, which we'll ask in a moment as well. Hello, Lucid Sound. Hi. I got nothing. Can't complain though. You know what? You got this. There you go. Here's your Christmas present, Sion. Merry Christmas, mate. Brian Spalding in the house. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Tom Rochelle got some Amazon gift cards that will be soon traded in for a second interface so that I can have one for my iPad and MacBook. Leaning towards the M Audio M-Track Duo. Let me know how that goes, because it's one of the... So I've used Steinberg, I've used Focusrite, I've used Behringer, I've used Samson. M Audio. I use the M Audio Keystation keyboard, but I've never used an M Audio interface. So I'm keen to find out how that goes for you, because, yeah, it should be interesting. Are you a music fan? Represent. I've been talking music on YouTube for 5 years, so hopefully I'm a music fan. Otherwise, I'm a masochist. I'm either a music fan or a masochist. One of the 2. Already have all the apps you need. Yeah, I hear you. How do I cure a fireball? You know what a great see, here's the cause of a hangover. The cause of a hangover. A lot of people don't know this, but the best way to get a really bad hangover is to drink heavily the night before. But no, in order to cure a fireball hangover, I mean, it's a bit late now, but I pound water. McDonald's bacon and egg McMuffin is definitely a really good one. So if you can get your phone and Uber Eats yourself some bacon egg muffin, a nice greasy hash brown, that's probably my tip. That's what I go with anyway. So good luck. Oh, Matt, you got the AT 2020. Welcome to the AT 2020 club. You'll get your membership card in the mail. But yeah, if you don't know the AT 2020, it is my favorite large diaphragm condenser microphone. It is, again, it is just that. It's like what we talked about with the M Audio Key Station. It's the go-to, right? If you've got $100 burning a hole in your pocket and you want the best quality condenser mic, just get the AT 2020 and forget about it. Like, you're done, because it's great on vocals, it's great on acoustic guitar. You can you can mic up an amp cab. It just does everything, and it does it really well. Even people have been using it on woodwind instruments and violins and stuff. Like, yeah, it punches above its weight in terms of what a $100 microphone should do. And as you can see, when the folks at Sweetwater, they're discerning people, when they rate something like 4.5 stars, you know that it's pretty good, because you know a lot of people are going to get it and go, the type of black it was is not quite black enough, and you're like, wait, what? Some of the things people find faults with is weird, but anyway, it's very nice, very good microphone, and highly recommend it. And I'm intrigued by this. I reckon, speaking of M Audio, oh no, that's PreSonus, isn't it? Sorry, that's the PreSonus Audio Box USB 96. This looks like a good pack. I reckon if someone was starting out, $180, and you get yourself a 96 kilohertz PreSonus 2-channel input, an XLR mic, and an AT 2020. This wasn't meant to be a gear show, but hey, it's that time of the year, right, where a lot of us are getting new gear. So Matt, enjoy your new mic, mate. I can't wait to hear what you produce with it. Russ got a Star Wars light that does count when I play the... Oh, okay. Sounds interesting. Yeah. Hello, Andy. Andy Goldsby. We've got both the Indigo Sunsets in the house now. That is a good thing. I hope Santa has been kind. Walter says, can the track optimizer be overridden somehow? An iPad just gets in the way sometimes. We're talking optimizing performance. Yeah, nah, it can't, unfortunately. I've got a video on optimizing performance. If you search my name and optimizing performance, you can spell it either way, either with the Z or the S. You'll see that I've got a couple of videos here. So here on the channel, I've got this one here, which is 5 tips to avoid it. And then I've got this one here, which is how to improve your GarageBand iOS performance, and then what to do if it crashes. So if you search that, my name, Pete Johns, optimizing performance, you will get these videos. I'll whack a link there right in the chat, because we're a bit casual here today. I can do this sort of thing, so I've just popped a link there in the chat. You can check that one out if you want to. Oh, I got a text message here from the Sunglass Hut. Hang on, wait, sorry, this is important. Shine on sale, Sunglass Hut Plus, 20% off selected full price sunglasses for 4 days only. All right, sorry, I know this is important. This is a good, important stream, but apparently I need to go and buy some new sunglasses at the Sunglass Hut, because that's what you do. Consumerism for the win. Thank you, Orchestra Eclipse, for giving me confidence in starting my channel. Yes, everyone should start something. Everyone should share. I mean, look, not everyone. Okay, let's rephrase that. If you want to be sharing your music, sharing your ideas, sharing your knowledge, sharing your videos about things, you should be doing it. If you don't want to, or like if you have no interest in it, that's totally fine. But the excuse of other people might think it's bad, or I don't think I'm ready yet, like these are not valid excuses. You need to get started, start documenting, start creating, start doing things. I'm going to talk about some folks later who I'm pretty proud of in the last year, because they've just started doing it. And that is a good thing. So, in fact, I've just thought of someone else that I was not going to do it, because I'm totally going to forget someone. But I'm gonna risk it anyway, at the risk of peeing off people by not getting to everyone. I'm going to name and shame, or no, name and flame, I'm just going to have some fun. All right. Let's continue on. Lucid Sound. Did you know you can download MIDI files into GarageBand iOS? I didn't know before Christmas. It really helped me do a remix. Yeah. In fact, it's been a while since I did a MIDI video. That's going in the list. See, this is how I roll. When I get an idea like this, I go in here to my OneNote and I add it to the page, and I'm going to go MIDI importing in iOS. You know what I should do? I should do Old Lang Syne. I wonder if that is that's public domain. I'm going to write it here, Old Lang Syne. I've been looking for a Can't even know, no idea how to spell it. I've been looking for a New Year's project to do, so a New Year's video, and I think what I'll do is I'll find a MIDI file of Auld Lang Syne and bring that into GarageBand and then do a remix, so similar to what you've done here with Feliz Navidad. That's the sort of thing I reckon I'll do. But yeah, if you want to learn how to do that, again, if you just go to your YouTube and you search my name in the YouTube search box, and whatever you're looking for, I've probably done a video on it. So there's the one on importing MIDI files. I've got two of them, in fact. So I've got importing MIDI files from a year ago and one from 2 years ago. So it is time. We need to do a fresh, updated importing MIDI files into GarageBand. But yeah, if you've never done it, it's really cool and fun. You can import a MIDI track. Sometimes it even puts the right instruments on there, but you can usually change it up, and it's a bit of fun. I think, Jade, you did it recently in a show. Steve Guitar, how are you? I hope you're doing well. My son wants to control Logic on a Mac with an external device. Would a Novation launch key keyboard work? The 49 has faders and similar. Yeah. So the Novation launch key is pretty good. Like I've mentioned before, I go for the M Audio key station, but that doesn't have your faders and your pads and things. If you go Novation launch key 49, we'll just bring this one up so folks can see what it looks like. Yeah, it's pretty special. Now the thing is, yeah, I'd imagine Logic. Logic users, if you're here, let me know if you've used this sort of stuff. Logic, I think, has some more options for programming some of the pads and the faders. But as you can see there, if we come in, let us zoom, yeah. So if you see there, we've got like, you got your standard modulation and pitch bend wheel. But look at this. You've got like, I think, 16 pads that you can use there. You can customize and you could assign those to drum triggers and all sorts of things in there. And then, yeah, you've got your faders. So you can use this as virtual faders across your MIDI tracks, which I'm assuming you can do in Logic. Not sure if you can do it in GarageBand Mac. You definitely can't do it in GarageBand iOS, and I think things like Cubasis and Auria in iOS maybe give you some of that functionality. I'm not super sure, but yeah, like it's pretty good. $220, so it's twice as much as the M Audio key station, which is what, 100. But yeah, a lot of additional features there. I think he'd love it. I think if he's into programming MIDI, drum loops, that sort of stuff, electronic music, I think this is great. I don't have something like this because I use my MIDI keyboard basically to play in piano parts, playing organ parts, playing a few sort of synth pads and things. I don't really need the bells and whistles. The other one that's good, and Jade has this, I believe, is the M Audio Code series. So the Code 49 from M Audio is not here. They don't have it here on Sweetwater. There is the Oxygen though. That's the next step up. So in fact, the Oxygen is probably the one that's most related to, most similar to the launch key, and that's this one. You can see, so once again, you got all the faders across the top there, and this time you got pads. You only got 8 pads on this one, but you got your little pots there as well. So you got some assignable infinite spinning pots. So if you want to do your tweaking, you want to do some like some live sort of dubstep stuff, you can do that. So yeah, the M Audio Oxygen series, the Code series are good, and of course the launch key are good as well. But yeah, you really can't go wrong. If you buy anything from Novation or M Audio, I think you're going to be cool. I think you're going to be fine because they're good companies and do good stuff. Oh, there you go. Eventide sent me all of their apps yesterday for Christmas. That's a good question. That's a good point. Have I checked my email? No developers sent me any Christmas presents. Although it's only just Christmas in most parts of the world now, isn't it? We'll continue on and see. Yes, so we've talked about MIDI. Yeah, exactly. The Samson Mixpad. Oh, by the way, if you're looking for a mixer, I should have mentioned this at the time. This is what I would actually recommend as opposed to the Samson these days. I would actually go with this one. I would instead go over to the Yamaha. It's a little bit more pricey, but not super pricey. This one here. This is the Yamaha MG series. Very similar, but the beauty of this is it actually has the Yamaha D-pre's. So these are the same preamps that are on the Steinberg UR series. So you get the exact same preamps that you get on you get 4 of them, and they're the same preamps you get on the Steinberg UR12, UR22, UR44, but you get it in a mixer format, and you get 24-bit analog to digital converter. So that is what I go with, and I know Jade uses one of these. Ron Ward, who we'll talk about in a minute, remind me of all this stuff, also uses one of these. The only thing I don't love about this is you don't have faders. I love faders at the bottom so that I can easily bring up and down my tracks, but this one only has your pots for channels 1 to 4. But you still get your compressors, you still get your independent gain and your phantom power and everything else. And you even get RCA Actually, no, I do have RCA. I'm like, I don't have RCA. Yes, I do. So you get that. And you can go up in the world. So if you go to, say, the Yamaha MG12, then you do. There's a version of the 10 that does have the faders, but if you want a little bit more and you want to spend a bit more, this is the granddaddy, grand person, grand poobah of them all. So this is what I will probably get as an upgrade at some stage in the future, is this, which I just think would be great. Just going to take up a lot of desk space, right? Because it's pretty big, as you can see. But yeah, you got the same sort of stuff going on there, but the beauty part is you've got the faders on every channel. And I love me some fader action. When you're doing live stuff, reaching for a pot is okay, but having faders to just shut it down, boom, and you just flick it down and then just bringing it back up. It just feels good. And sometimes it's about feel. And I like these because it's got the old school Yamaha on-off buttons here. So you can actually really clearly see what channels you've got in your mix and what ones you don't. And that's super handy, as well as your little like stereo at 1-2 buttons down here. So you can do pre-fader listening, post-fader listening. Anyway, yeah, I kind of want one of these. That might be my purchase. Considering that my Zoom LiveTrak still doesn't work with the Mac, I'm thinking that a Yamaha MG12 is in my future. And then that's just everything. That kind of replaces it all. Because I bought the Zoom LiveTrak L8, yeah? And if you don't know about that, the Zoom LiveTrak L8, let's now that I'm showing all this stuff, let's show that one. I still recommend and I still like the Zoom LiveTrak L8, but it's not. It's a bit of overkill for me, to be honest. So this is what we're talking about here: the Zoom LiveTrak L8. And you can see it's a little bit pricier than that Yamaha MG12. The reason for that is that this is a mixer, it's an interface, and it's a standalone recorder. So you can use this for everything. You can use this standalone, record directly to an SD card, so you can record anything, anywhere. You can also record using an audio interface. So each one of these channels you can actually record separately. Something like the Samson I'm using or the Yamaha MG, you can't record individual channels. You can only record the stereo mix down. So that's a limitation if you want to sort of do something with it later. But the benefit of this is you can do both. You can use it just as a stereo mixer, you can use it as an audio interface, an 8-channel audio interface, or you can use it as a standalone recorder. Problem is, they haven't set up drivers for the new Mac M1, so I can't use this on my new Mac, which is why I've had to go back to the Samson and just accept the 16-bit audio. But because the Yamaha, the MG series, use a standard USB driver, because it's just 2 channels coming out, that's compatible with everything. That'll work with my iPad, my iPhone, my Mac, my PC, and it's going to be one device to rule them all. So I'm kind of thinking Yamaha MG series mixer is in my future. So that's my thought process anyway. Let's catch up on the chat because I'm a little behind here. Hello to you, Red. Red. I'll just peek up over your comment. Merry Christmas. Apologies if you've been asked. May I ask if you accept SoundCloud links for Your Music Live? It's an old demo I never finished. I'm around 17, but I'm proud of it. Absolutely. So yes, and it's one of the things I was going to talk about anyway. Excuse me. So let's talk about Your Music Live. We had a bloody brilliant episode, and I can say that because it's not self-congratulatory, because the quality of the Your Music Live show is all around you. Because it's the quality of the content, it's the quality of what you put out there. And we had this one here. We had the Christmas edition. Let's just play a little bit of it. Come over here. So yeah, we had the Christmas edition. Here's what went on. We opened with Matt. So Maffy's Garden with their jingle bells sounded like this. 2, 3, 4. Ever seen Double Pete? Pete moshing along to Pete, drinking coffee with myself. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? All right, I'm going to stop that. Everyone's going to be like, "That Pete, that's too weird." But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, absolutely. We accept, and I know a lot of folks have been sending me files, and the problem with files is I don't really have I probably just need to invest in or find a good file player that does good visualizations. But as you can see there, even with SoundCloud, you get this sort of action going on here, and it just looks a lot nicer, doesn't it? To be able to have that SoundCloud graphic and the album art and stuff on there, and the same when I'm playing like YouTube videos as opposed to other things. Like if we just skip forward on here, like yeah. You're playing a YouTube video and you're playing Dan's song there, and he's got like the nice background there, and a lot of people actually did full-on videos. So I think, was it Russ? I don't know who's this. I can't remember who that one was, but yeah, we had a lot of people that did some really good stuff, and of course our buddy SM Borthwick at the end here did his thing. There you go. There he is. Look at that. Look at that pause. Hey. So yeah, what I was saying is I'm going to, in 2021, I'm going to just say links because it's just, I tried to start the Your Music Live show to support musicians, but to also have a show that I can do that's not super challenging in terms of the prep. It still takes probably 2 to 3 hours to prep, to get all the links, to check the songs, to make sure that they're appropriate, and that I'm all set up. But I don't have to do a whole lot of pre or post work apart from that. So yeah, that's sort of why. And I don't want it to turn into another show like I do with Home Studio Q&A or with GarageBand Weekly, where I need to do a whole bunch of research and have a bunch of links and a bunch of other things. So yeah. Short answer is yes. You may send me, and all you need to do is send me an email, pete@studiolivetoday.com with YML in the subject, and I'll put it into the folder, and you'll be considered. I think we've already got quite a few submissions because while we had the Christmas show, we kept having submissions coming in for the next show, and we have a New Year's show with what have we got here? We've already got, I've got 62 emails in my folder here. I need to go through and do the clean out and make sure, because some of them will be double ups and that I haven't really done. And some, to be honest, some are people that I hear from once. So they've popped onto the channel, they saw the show live, they come in, they chat, like they spam the chat about 5 times saying, play my song, play my song, play my song. Some cool person like Tom or Jade or Scott or Bubba will come in and say, or Sion will say, this is how you do it, the link in the description, follow that. And then I just get an email that's literally just YML with their link. And so so if you've sent me something and it's just on the back of watching the show and you haven't given me the 1 or 2 sentences about the song and explain why, yeah, it's probably not going to go into the show. But yeah, if you do, it's pretty simple. I like to think, try to make things simple. All you need to do, email pete@studiolivetoday.com. Don't have to do anything else. Just put YML in the subject, put your link, 2 sentences. Here's the song that I made. This was made in GarageBand iOS. I made this song using loops and the autoplay and some stock play, whatever it is, then we'll be good to go. So yes, go for it. Did I see Case in the house? Yes, hello. Is Cubasis 3 more stable now? I haven't played with it enough. Jade, have you been playing with it much? Because I haven't really played. I didn't find Cubasis that unstable before, to be honest, but I did definitely hear from folks that it was. But since I've updated, I definitely haven't had any crashes whatsoever, but I haven't used it a whole lot either. Let's see if I can get do I have my reflector running? I do. Let's bring this up and we'll mirror my iPad, just because I want to make sure in case anyone asks any iPad-related questions. This is why I am loving the Mac for this sort of stuff. It does make it a heck of a lot easier to connect things up. And I say that now, and it will probably fail. Nope, it's worked. There you go. So, here's our Cubasis, and we'll hit play on that, turn up the volume. Oh, you know what? It's going through AirPlay now. You can do, but close your eyes again. So yeah, I actually really dig Cubasis, and I do want to use it a lot more in the future, but I just haven't got around to playing with it. Hopefully in 2021, I will spend more time with Cubasis. But I hope you're doing well, Case. Case, were you the first person that was ever on? I'm still playing. Oh no, that's this show. I'm like playing this show in the background. Were you the first person that we ever had on the Creator Series? I think you were right up there. It might have been Patrick. But yeah, I think it was either you or Patrick Moonbird that we had. But I've lost my link now. The one thing I'm not quite used to is how everything works here on the Mac in terms of where it goes, because it puts things away. So if you haven't checked these out, Pete John's Creator Series. If you haven't checked out the Creator Series, really cool series, because again, the quality of it is the people that I interviewed. So there's our man Glenn Clark across the pond in New Zealand. We got Josh Gates there, Jason Robert, interviewed him. In fact, let's go playlist. Did you know you can do this? You can filter here, and instead of searching by video, you can search by playlist, and then you can actually find the playlist of things. I only discovered that the other day, so it's handy. We'll just take your chat off there. So yeah, there's Jakob Hack. That was the recent one I had. But yeah, down the side here, you can see all of the different interviews that we've done. We've got Xylo Aria there, SM Borthwick, Satish Robertson, Gary Hubbs, hello to you, Gary, the Indigo Sunset, Stu and Andy. Let's take a quick squeeze at Stu and Andy there, talking to me. There they were. I think that was the only 3-way that we've had on Creator Series. could be wrong. But yeah, we got a whole heap of them. But yeah, what was I saying? Who was the first? Yeah, it was Patrick, and then it was Case. So Case, you were at number 2. So go back and check out that series. You can see, look, this is how long that series has been going. I was using Google Hangouts. I wasn't even using StreamYard back then. We were doing Google Hangouts live, and I was pre-recording them, and we were talking to a bunch of cool people. So go and check out that playlist. In fact, I'll grab the playlist, and I'll chuck it here so that you can save yourself a few clicks. There it is. There's the playlist. We'll copy it, and we'll chuck it here in the chat. If you want to go and check that out, check out my interview with Case and with 30 plus other creators. I'm still playing my Jakob hack one over here. I just need to close out of that. Sorry, Jakob, that was a cool chat, but I'll watch that again another time. Fallen, I think I missed you coming in there, so I hope you are doing well. Ed Zed says, I don't know if this applies outside the US, but Best Buy is offering a $20 credit for Apple with the purchase of a $100 gift card for 4 days only. Yeah, we don't get Best Buy in Australia, and I don't think that'll work. But the best thing for my fellow Australians, best thing for Australians if you're looking to buy gift card or Apple cards for App Store purchases and music is that Coles and Woolies from time to time will have anywhere from 10 to 20% off, usually 10 or 15% off. So whenever they do that, if you've ever noticed my App Store credit is usually, a few $100s. That's not because I'm just rolling and I'm flexing on you. That's because I'm a tight ass, and every time they do that, instead of spending, the 10 and the $20 and the $5 and the $2 here and there, I will just go out, and as soon as they have that, I'll buy like 3 $100 cards, get 15% off them all, so save myself like $45, and then have $300 in credit, and that lasts me like the next 6 months. So whenever you see those deals, if you're going to be spending, and the cool thing is, any in-app purchases and any subscriptions come out of that as well. So you basically, if you got Disney Plus, you got Hulu, you got Netflix, you got Apple Music, you got Spotify, you got KO Sports here in Australia, anything you've got that comes out that you can subscribe to it through your Apple account, do it on your iPad or your iPhone, and then buy those credits whenever they come out, buy those gift cards, chuck them on there. You're saving yourself 15% on stuff every single time. It's gold. Anyway, that's Pete's tip of the day. G'day to you, Frigsy. Hope you are doing well and having a good one. three-way carrots for the win. Haven't had any carrot chat. I don't think I've mentioned the word carrots the entire time we've been here live. And g'day to Inside Blindberg. Yes, see, I could have just looked at the chat. Case was second. Patrick was indeed first. So there you go. How do I get my comments on screen so fast? I use StreamYard. In fact, oh yeah, we're still asking question or something else. Yeah, just put question. I'm trying to get to anything that anyone's saying, but try to put question in front of it. Where is my hat, Ponk? I know. I should be wearing it because look, the bald spot. But no, I can't have the headphones on with the hat. I need to develop a hat that can also like fold up, and then you can put headphones over the top. So yeah, we're hatless. Where was I up to? I'm going back upstairs. No, I'm coming back downstairs. So yes, I'll just catch up on the chat, and then I'll show you something cool in StreamYard that I've never actually tried before. But where was I? I was down to here. Alex LX, hope you are doing well. Thanks for answering. Yeah, thank you. I just thumbed up on the screen. There you go. Yeah, if you're having some fun, you know what to do. Thumb love or carrot love, either way is good. Yeah, what does my buddy Mike at Creative Source say? If you liked it, hit the thumbs up once. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down button twice. Right? You can double dislike it. See what we did there? Alrighty. Oh, Creator Series was fun. Next Pascal Potential song is in the making. It'll be titled Instagram. I look forward to that, Case. That could be a lot of fun. Sounds very cool. All right, question from Fallen. Any tips or advice for someone like me who has never mixed before? That's a really good question. And we'll dive into this for just a couple of minutes, because if you've never mixed before, well, I mean, the first thing I would say is go over to YouTube. Go to YouTube and type Pete Johns mixing basics. You don't have to use mine. Like, there's a heap of different people that are doing mixing videos. But if you're mixing, especially in GarageBand iOS, or even if not, if you go and search Pete Johns mixing basics, I would check out this video first. It's 25 minutes, so it's a pretty long video, but I basically go through everything to do with mixing. So mixing kind of comes in a few stages here. You've got the actual tracks that you're recording. So you need to have good quality tracks. So you need to know what you're doing with recording. And again, there's a heap of videos about recording. But let's just say you've recorded 16 tracks and you've got them sitting there and you're like, where do I start? How do I mix here? Mixing used to be called balancing. And in fact, mix engineers used to be balance engineers because all you could do was balance the different tracks. So I always think back to that whenever I start a mixing project and go, the first thing that you should do is make sure that you've got a good static mix, which means that don't worry about your panning. Don't worry about your plugins. Don't worry about your flavor, your reverb, your delays, that sort of thing. You can mix as you go anyway, and if they're already on there, bonus, you're ahead, but get yourself a static mix, and that means using your faders. So primarily using your faders, getting them at the right level. You may need to use stuff like EQ and compression at that stage, or even automation, because you may need to level out some of the volumes, but I think that's always stage one of a mix, is get your balance right, get a good static mix going on, then you could move into more of the flavor stuff. So there's kind of two phases I look at it, is you get your static mix right, then you start going, what does this arrangement need? What sort of reverb? What sort of delay? Do I need a flanger effect on that particular track? Do I need to add some chorus on this track? So then you can do the flavoring side, and then you sort of go back to the start, because the last phase is usually your automation or adjusting compression levels to get a nice level balanced mix. So if there's one word that I think about when I think mixing, it's balance. Because whether you're doing your faders and you're just looking at your volume levels, whether you're thinking about your panning, how balanced is it between the left and the right? Hang on, I can do better with that. How balanced is it between, where's my pen? How balanced is it between the left and the right? Because if you've got a song and there's too much stuff out here, or way too much gear out here, well then it's not going to sound right, is it? So you want balance. You want balance of sound, you want balance of panning, and then you want the whole thing to mix together. And the final thing to keep in mind is what you're generally trying to achieve is a cohesive sound. So the reason that things like reverb and using a room reverb or some sort of space on your tracks is if you add a little bit of reverb to every track, it kind of brings all those instruments into that one space. So the reason that reverbs are called like hall or room or stadium or whatever is that's the place, like that's the environment that those sounds are being portrayed in. So if you don't have any of that, they could all sound very separate and all very digital and clinical. If you want to add a bit of warmth, if you want to add some glue, bring it all together, that's where your reverbs and your delays and things can come in. So that was a long answer to a short question, but it's a big thing. I would come in here, check out these basics of mixing versus mastering, mixing vocals, volume mixing in GarageBand. Yeah, mixing a full song. There's a heap of videos there that you can start with. I've been doing this for 5 years, so you might say, oh, Pete, you're doing the same video over and over again. And yeah, that's because I've been learning and developing. The software's been changing and being tweaked over time, and I'm just, every song is different, right? So there is no one way to do anything. There's no one technique for mixing. It's whatever's going to work for that song. But there's some basic fundamental things that if you're just starting out, that can help you get started. And again, all of that, in my opinion. And as we say around here, it's all like more sentences need to start with in my opinion and in my experience, because your experience may vary and your workflow, therefore your opinion of how to do things, may also vary. So keep those in mind as well. But thank you for the question. And now I've lost my space. Now I've lost where I was up to in the chat. So let's come back on up. Yep, get those carrots going on. Get those carrots. And yeah, mastering is kind of the next question. Which again, I cover in a bunch of those videos, so you should be good to go there. Carol of the Bells, do 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 do. That's the creepiest song in the history of the world. Friggsy says, my more talented than me daughter got an iMac for Christmas. She's learning the basics of GarageBand at school. Be prepared for a deluge of queries. You know what we say when someone asks a question about GarageBand Mac? Call Patrick. GarageBand Guide, thegaragebandguide.com. No, I am learning the Mac, but I must admit, I still do handle a lot of the garage. Just like I handle any Aurea Pro question to Jade, I'll always handle those GarageBand Mac questions to our buddy Patrick at the GarageBand Guide, because he literally wrote the book on GarageBand. He is the GarageBand Guide, after all. Shake your guitar tutorials. Coming to say happy Christmas, all of you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for dropping in and saying g'day. Yeah, and so Tom says, one great tip I heard from Lewin at GarageBand and beyond is to start by setting your drums at -5 dB. Helps a lot to get the levels right. Yeah, it's a really good point and really good tip is that a lot of the time people get into trouble with their mixing because you think about your mixes and when you record stuff, it kind of puts it at unity gain, it puts it at 0 dB, which is like that middle level. So like if you're thinking in terms of, I'll bring my GarageBand up here just so it'll show you what I'm talking about. So when you, here we go. So when you've got something like GarageBand here, you'll know that when you first start recording, all your levels are like here, yeah? And notice how all these vocals, which I'm now ruining by putting all up here, notice how all these vocals I've started bringing down. It's because the more instruments you layer in there, the more sort of amplitude of sound you're going to get. So if you have, 4 tracks, yeah, sure, everything can be around there. But the more tracks you add, the more you'll need to bring everything down. Otherwise, you're just going to have this complete overload of sound. And that's not going to sound good, and it's going to make it really hard for you to mix. So keep that in mind as well. So good point there as well. And yes, happy Christmas. Is it weird? We say Merry Christmas generally here in Australia. I've noticed that folks in the UK say Happy Christmas. I don't know why. It's just a different thing. Culture, hey? Who knew? Coffee is cold. Not cold in a good way. Hello, thank you, John Trell. I'm glad. Again, I'm learning here. So the last 5 years have been me learning. It's kind of like that joke about the teacher. You just got to stay one lesson ahead of the kids. I honestly believe that some of the best ways to, and this is why I encourage everyone else to share your knowledge and share what you learn. Because I think I learn more from people who are learning it themselves and who have just learned something because A, they've got the enthusiasm for it, they're excited, they're pumped because they've just learned something, and B, often they know what beginners don't know. So me, when I did my Cubasis and Aurea series, I got a lot of positive feedback, not because I was an expert on those platforms, because I clearly wasn't, but because I was finding the problems that everyone else was when they first started out with those. So for me, instead of going away for a week, becoming an expert and coming back and teaching you all the pro tips, instead I went, hey, let's hit record and talk for an hour, and I'm going to fumble my way through this stuff, like I did with the Mac as well. I'm learning as I go, and that was actually good. And in fact, the folks at Steinberg who make Cubasis said to me, some of the stuff that I came up with, they didn't really realize because they weren't seeing it from the lens of someone brand new using the platform. They were seeing it from the lens of a pro or an expert that's used Cubase and then maybe used Cubasis 2 and has moved into Cubasis 3. Whereas me, coming in with absolute fresh, I was just like, hey, it doesn't really make sense when you press the MIDI keyboard that it doesn't do this. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. So some of those were actually implemented into the new version. So that's pretty satisfying to say that, hey, maybe something that I did because I was a bit of an imbecile and didn't know what I was doing actually led to them making it easier for other new folks that are doing things. Anyway. Russ says he finds it useful to save a wet and a dry mix in case I need to alter a track. Also a good point. Absolutely, yeah, you may want to do that. And there's debate between that. Same with your recording. Do you record in dry and then add all your effects? Do you try to record through effects? Trial and error. Again, there is no... Jade said it a lot on her channel in the last couple of weeks. And I always say, you've got unlimited retries, right? You've got unlimited credits. Just keep pumping the quarters in, pumping the 20-cent pieces in. That's how old I am. It's probably $2 coins now. It is $2 coins now. But yeah, you start pumping in the money and just keep playing until you get something that you like. And yeah, if it doesn't ever work out for that song, guess what? You get to move on and do another song. That's it. You just keep going. There is no... Eminem was right about a lot of things, but you don't got one shot. You got unlimited retries. Hello to you, Mubrak. Hello, Elva. Thanks for being here. Got to go. Danny Broderick, thank you. Thank you for all of your support over this time. I'm sure I'll see y'all around the weekend. We've got the usual weekend shows coming up, so that should be a lot of fun. And Ed Zed, please go and grab yourself an eggnog before bed, and hope you have a good evening and are doing well. Sly Dog, g'day to you. I've only been watching a few months, but I have picked up everything I need to know. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for the love over the Christmas spirit of the season. I'm just saying, Shake Your Guitar says, explain people the mess in our head when headphone is not soundproof enough. We have to play very loud to hear the backing. Old style, I know. Yeah, I mean, your monitoring and what you use for headphones and other things, yeah, we'll it's personal choice. Like some people just still monitor. They'll just sing and they'll have the speakers and they'll accept the bleed and whatever works for you. Don't be too worried about it. It's my guess. Aussies are just different in talking. We are a bit different, especially when I put on my Aussie accent. I normally talk a bit more posh-like, but yeah, sometimes I just get down into a bit of this sort of bit talk. Is it that thing that I'm allowed to do that because I'm Australian? Or are other Australians going to come and beat me up? Maybe. Yeah, good. Thanks for the reminder. Get your Studio Live Today merch. In fact, let's jump. I'm going to jump over to my merch store right now. So I use a little bit of behind the scenes stuff, and if you probably know this sort of stuff if you are on the Patreon, if you are a patron of mine at patreon.com/PeteJohns. But I'm going to log in here to my Teespring. So yeah, I use Teespring for all of my merchandise, and I'm just going to see if I can remember my login. Oh, I had to say I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot. You're a robot. Teespring, but yeah, Teespring's really cool because I don't have to have a shed full of t-shirts and mugs to sell my stuff. Yeah, I just do what's called on-demand shipping, which means that. In fact, can I show you? Can I show you my keyboard, my back end here? I'll see if I can. I'll make sure there's nothing on here I'm not allowed to show. But yeah, so here it is. There's my storefront. Yeah, so let me just show you this. I'll bring this on over. So this is the storefront. So this is what I create here in StreamYard. This one here, StreamYard. This is what I create here in Teespring. And you can see here that I've got, we've got my t-shirt, the hoodie, the Optimizing Performance, the rainbow t-shirt, the mug there. And yeah, you can basically design these. You jump in here, you upload a PNG file that you can create for free in Canva or Over or whatever you're using, and then just whack it on any sort of product. And there's a heap of different products. In fact, we should probably do a bit of a review of what sort of products we should add in here. But what I am going to do is, for the folks that are watching here live, is I'm going to do. Well, they've got digital products now too. That's a bit exciting. If I can work out how to do this, I'm going to go back to my listings and I'm going to go to promotion, tools and services, promotions. So we already have some discount codes in here. So why don't I add in a code? What should we make it? Should we make it carrots? Yeah. So if you put the code carrots, I'm going to give you a discount. And what do we do? Should we make it big? I may make a loss on this, and I've never done a 20% discount before. But I'm gonna make it expire on 1st of Jan 2021. So if you put carrots at studiolivetoday.com/merch, I'm just going to add this in here now, adding the discount. There you go. 20% off. I think I make 22% margin on most products. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. But yeah, I've put that in there. 20% off if you put the code carrots for a couple of days only. So yeah, if you're watching this in the next few days, you can put that in there. And if you're on the email list, you actually get another code there. So you'll always get 10% off if you're on my mailing list, which is SLW email. So you can use that code. But if you put the code carrots in right now, studiolivetoday.com/merch. If anyone does make a purchase, let me know. Make sure it actually works. And yeah, we'll see if we can see if Pete can get some t-shirts and mugs out there and probably make a loss. But that's okay because I think they're cool. Look, this one. Here you go. You get the rainbow logo, or you can get the red logo. But yeah, there you go. I didn't mean for this to be a marketing product thing. But yeah, there you go. I wanted to try that out here live. And plus, carrots, right? Carrots are cool. All right, let's just come down here and see where we're up to with the chat. Actually, what I'm going to do, where can I start for selling merch? Yeah, teespring.com. Teespring.com. So yeah, if you go here, I'll show you where we're at. So I've just created that promotion, and I'll go into my account here. And if we go to start designing, I'll just make sure there's nothing on the screen that you can't see. Here we go. Here's the teespring.com launcher popping up here. So yeah, all you do is you go to teespring.com, you sign up for an account, free account. You then pick what products you want. They've got joggers, fanny packs. Means something different here. They've got masks now, because of course they do, apparel, digital, accessories, etc. So you want to design a t-shirt, all you do is go into apparel, you select the t-shirt design you want, you go, yeah, I want some men's t-shirt, you start designing. Do you want to buy it or sell it? I want to sell it. And then it'll pop you into your product here. You add your image. So I've already got some added in here, but you can add in any image you want. So say I want an image of one of my thumbnails. Let's actually, where was it? Where was the one that I did for this? Yeah, let's just say that this is a t-shirt I wanted here. There you go. Fist bump for a rockin' holiday season. So yeah, if I wanted a t-shirt of that, if I thought anyone would buy that, I can put that there. I choose my different product colors here. So you got a pink one, you want a red one, that one. Well, that'd actually look kind of cool. And yeah, obviously I'd put like a transparent PNG. I wouldn't put the red background there, so it would just be there. But yeah, that's how simple it is. And then you go done, you set your price on it. So I set my prices pretty low because you can, I want folks to be able to get about $20 a t-shirt, and you can decide how much you sell them for and therefore how much margin that you make, because obviously you then pay, it's about $12, I think, that they charge you. So if you buy a t-shirt for $20, it costs $12, I make $8. Or if you buy it right now, you get it for $16 and I make like $2, $3. So yeah, that's how simple it is to get started and selling your merch. So again, if a lot of people think it's hard. Same with music distribution. I mean, it used to be hard. We used to sell t-shirts, and Jay can probably remember this. Back in the day, if you had a band and you wanted to sell band t-shirts, you'd have to get 50, 100 t-shirts printed. The amount of people that have still got t-shirts printed. Same with CDs, with your music. You wanted to distribute your music, you had to print the CDs, get them actually manufactured, and you'd have boxes of your own CDs, your own merchandise. These days, it's all print on demand, so you don't have to do any of that. So it's all good there. Yeah, so it's cool, right? Yeah, isn't it cool? So yeah, anyone can do that. Anyone can actually do that. The fist bump, I'll buy that. There you go. Maybe I should do that one. I don't think anyone. Plus, I don't know. Are the memojis like copyrighted? I don't think I can use that. Apple would probably say that's an Apple registered product. You can't do that. Red and black is pretty cool. Try it. Yeah. So red and black. So if we put it, where's the black? There you go. Yeah, and again, you wouldn't have that outside around it. You'd put a. In fact, while we're here, because it's Christmas, I'll just jump into my Canva and I'll export a PNG of that one. So here's my Canva. We're going right behind the scenes here today, but that's fine. That's fun. So if we go into this one, I don't know why it's called Pool. We'll just change the name of this to Fist Bump. So yeah, if we wanted to, what we could do is just make the background of this white instead. Where are we? White. Background white, and then download it. But instead of downloading as a PNG, we'll do a transparent background, and then hit save. So that's going to make sure that when we put it onto the t-shirt, that it's not going to actually be there. Again, yeah, you didn't expect this, did you? But it's going to be a random show here today. So there's that one. We'll come out of Canva, go back over to here, just close that out, or I'm going to get confused. And then instead of that image, we will go, how do we go back? Back. No, that's the other back. I'll just use the browser back button. There we go. So let's just say we're making another one, start designing to sell. There's our blank t-shirt. This time, if we add the image and we add this one, that's just going to be our oh, what happened there? It all went wrong. It didn't work. That's enough of that. You get the gist, though. You know what would have happened. If I actually exported it properly, you'd get that. Go on, fist bump, do it. I only do Rockstar Black, though. Yeah, well, let's give me a minute, and I'll try to. I won't waste the time here on the stream, but I'll try and make one. Check back. As soon as this stream's over, I'll jump in, and I'll make a fist bump one in black. But I don't think it needs to say for a rocket holiday. I'll tweak it. It might be a day or so. Maybe tune into the shows over the weekend and maybe we'll have one ready for you there. Alrighty, let's get there. Let's take it. Would you like to check out my remix of Fleece? Yeah, why not? Send it to Your Music Live. Submit it. YML. Email YML and so email Pete at studiolivetoday.com, YML in the subject, and a couple of lines about your song and the link to it. Put it on SoundCloud or Slaps or YouTube, and of course, we can consider it. Question from Stu Cash, and a very good one. How do you attach your merch to your YouTube channel? So, unfortunately, you need to have a minimum of 10,000 subscribers. I know, it sucks. So the way that I did it before I had 10,000 subscribers, Stu, is that I created a link. So I've got a website, which is studiolivetoday.com. So I create the link, which is studiolivetoday.com/merch. And then in the description and in the comment of every video, I would just put that there. So if you noticed in all of my video descriptions, if we come across, we'll just get rid of Teespring, come over to here. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I'll just create a new tab. So if you go to here, I'll just go to YouTube. I'll take you behind the scenes because you're asking, and you're good people. I want to try and help out where I can. So I'll come in here to show you how I set up my descriptions. So go into my content here, and I'll go into this one. So this is the video I put out yesterday for my free plugin of the year, which was just it was a clip from my my recent video where I did my top 10. But if we come in here, what you'll notice is that in my title there, I've got that one. And here, what I do is your first line should be something about the video, right? So this is where your search engine optimization comes in. Notice here that I've got LRC5 EQ. I've got iOS plugin here, right? LRC5, AUV3, EQ, iPad, iPhone, plugin 2020. They're all the keywords. That's what I want when people search LRC EQ or LRC iPad or LRC iPhone. Then this is going to tell YouTube that this is the video that they're looking for. And then directly under here, see how I've got this one here? I've got the link to the video. So this is what I call my call to action. So the call to action is always the first line under there, because this is what shows in the short description when someone's watching a video. This is what will actually pop up there. So that's the one thing you can do. The other thing that you can do is you can put your own comment on your own video and pin that to the top. I know it sounds a bit conceited, but if you come in here, so there's me in my video, and if you come down here to the comments, the first, so that's the description. So I'll show you that again. I'll show you that because you might have missed that. So up the top here, see how these first two lines, before anyone even taps or clicks on show more, well, you can't see it there. Before anyone ever clicks and taps on show more, they get these first two lines anyway, yeah? But then if they do go down into the comments, check it out. The very first comment I have here, if we zoom on in, is this one. And yes, I haven't gone in and answered my comments today because I was preparing for this show, but I will do because I do answer all my comments. So yeah, there you go. There's the three calls to action that I have there. So what I would do is, before you get the merch shelf, because the other thing is you'll notice that if you're watching it's on mobile. Is it on the video? If you're on mobile, there's a little tab there that says merch, and it can be right there on the actual thing. I don't even think it's on the desktop. But anyway, yeah, so you can just have it there, and then people can click through, and you don't have to worry about it that way. So that is my recommendation. Excuse me a moment. Yeah, Jade says, I have 180 CDs left from my 2007 Dread Circus album of 10,000 copies. I just give them away now. And I have one. I benefited from that. I benefited from Jade's abundance of CDs because I have one now. So I haven't listened to it in my car very much. Because I don't have a CD player in my car now. It used to be the only time I listened to CDs was in my car, and now my car has the old Apple Play. So there you go. Tom Rochelle just bought 2 shirts and the code worked. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So yeah, get yourself some discounted shirts. Stock up on the shirts. They come in a bunch of different colors, and yeah, you got the mugs there as well, and the hoodies. So yeah, plenty of options there. But I don't have a whole bunch of stuff because I just wanted to keep it simple. But if there's things you want on there, you saw how simple it is to create it. So I can whack my logo on anything. If you want some Studio Live Today masks, or you want some Studio Live Today tote bags, I don't know. Just let me know, and we can sort it out. We can hook it up. All right. Where are we at? We've got half an hour to go, and I had a whole bunch of stuff. Nice one. Yes, hopefully that helped you out. Yeah, I want to get more band t-shirts, but the problem is it's really hard to find them. There's two places, the official places that charge you a frickin' fortune for the shirts and for shipping, or buying them at gigs, which also charge you a fortune, or like the dodgy knockoff eBay stores that are clearly not actually associated with the band. So I want to get the band the money. That's why I think more bands should do this. More bands should use things like Teespring and Spreadshirt and these places, control their own merch, and then just sell it direct. Sell it print on demand direct to fans. I think that's the way of the future. And I think as more and more bands, especially independent bands, get onto that, I think we'll have more of that. All right, let's I wanted to try something here because, as I mentioned very briefly, StreamYard, who I use, someone was asking before, how do you get the comments on the screen? Well, I use StreamYard, and it's very cool. It gives you the ability to bring in the comments. So whenever someone makes a comment, I can just chuck it straight in here like this. So there you go, a carrot t-shirt for the win. See, we need carrot t-shirts. So I can just throw Russ's comment up there. Now we've got some new ones here for the brand. So that's our default way. We've got a minimal way. So this is something I've used before. So when Jay puts a comment there, I don't love that because it's kind of small. I like the big bang one that we get for the other one. But they've just added 2 new ones. So they've got the bubble, which I've never tried before. So we'll go to bubble and we'll go boom. Zoop. Oh, that's not bad. See the animation it does there? Pops Tom out, and then it puts that there. The prices for t-shirt at shows back when I was that was a thing was ridiculous, like $40 US. Yeah, $60. I've paid $60 for tour t-shirts at gigs, $60 Australian. It's just insane. Like I know that they don't make money from CD sales anymore. I know they don't get paid a heap to tour, but you got to make it up in volume. Yeah, I would have bought even if they were $30 or $40. I would buy so many more. I would buy a t-shirt at every gig. If every gig I went to had a $30 t-shirt, I'm buying one. When it's 60, I just can't do it. I just can't justify it. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Aman, hello. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, bubble. Bubble is a cool tool. There you go. I don't mind the bubble. And there's one more, which I think is the one I'm going to go with, which is block. So let's see what block looks like. We'll see. We'll do this. Oh, what do we reckon? Block or bubble? Bubble might go better with this sort of style because it kind of sits in my frame. Yeah, that one overlaps my frame, doesn't it? So it's going to be bubble, I reckon. Yeah, because that'd be cool if I didn't have the border, but with the border, I think for things like Your Music Live and this sort of shows where I have the border, I think bubble is it. Let's try bubble for the rest of the show and see if that works out for us. We'll see how we go. Alrighty. Now, I've been chatting and ranting here, which was the point of this show because I didn't really want to prepare anything in particular, but I did have a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about here. So let's just go through a little bit of I'll have a quick drink of water. And then what have we got? We've got 25 minutes till the cricket. So, let's talk through this thing. I want to ask you all a question here. So if you're listening, if you've just been sitting back and passively listening, it's time to get active and get involved. If you're watching on the replay, I want you to drop a comment after the show to let me know this as well. What is the best thing that you've made happen in the year 2020? I think we can all agree that 2020 has been an interesting year. That's to put it mildly. But what it has provided is an opportunity for you to take control of things. And whether it's in your music or your life or wherever, what's the thing that you're proudest of? What's the best thing that you've made happen? What's your highlight of 2020? I'd love to finish off this stream by going through some people's highlights because I think there's been a lot of them. For me, there's been a heap. I'll tell you about some of the stuff that I've been enjoying over the year. And then we'll finish off and find out, hopefully, from some of the folks watching here live on YouTube and Facebook. And again, if you're watching the replay, don't worry. I want your comments. I'll be down there after the cricket today. I'll be down there checking out the comments and reading and replying to all of your comments. But let's talk about some of the cool things that I've been experiencing in 2020. And to be honest, it's been all about the people. And at the risk of missing a bunch of people here, I'm going to go through and talk about some of the cool people that I've met and have interacted with. So it kind of started early in the year where I wanted to kick the Creator Series back in. We talked earlier to Case, who was one of the first folks. We had Patrick Moonbird early on. We had Ron Ward. We had a bunch of people early on. Start of the year, I started just reaching out to people just generally. And one person that I was really digging at the time was Beth Raw. And I reached out to her and said, just sent her a nice friendly email saying, hey Beth, I do this show, it's a Creator Series, would you be interested in coming on? At that time, Beth had about 400,000 subscribers and I had maybe 40,000. So it was a bit of a stretch to say, hey, you got 10 times as many followers as me, but you want to come on my little channel and have a chat? She said, yeah, sounds great. And we had a great chat and it was a really cool time. So that kind of taught me that something that someone I used to work with said, like whenever I'd get nervous about talking to, the CEO of the company or a big manager or a big boss, she'd say, Pete, they're just people. People are people. And that's probably been my takeaway for 2020 is that I think what 2020 has taught me and probably taught many of us is exactly that people are people. And yeah, some of them will have the bigger egos and some of them won't give you the time of day, but the majority of them are just people. And if you can connect with them one-on-one on a personal level, then you are equals. Everyone is equal to everyone else in terms of the fact that we are all humans. We all deserve the respect of other humans. And the other thing, the flip side of that is I've become super deaf to the negativity. You might notice that I haven't said a whole bunch in the way of negative. Yeah, I have the rant from time to time. Yeah, I get passionate about things, but I think negativity breeds negativity, and I think positivity breeds positivity. And what I've wanted to do, my big focus in 2020, has been to deliver positive messages to help pull people up. So to help lift people up and to, as Jade says on her channel, we all rise together. To bring people together. And if you go to the GarageBand users Facebook group, if you go to the Create, Record, Release Facebook group, you'll be hard pressed to find a lot of negativity. And that's not because it's all sunshines, lollipops, and rainbows. Hopefully you'll notice that there's also some good constructive discussions. There's some good debate. There's some good feedback about what people are doing well and not so well. But there's just no point. Some of the arguments about which platform you use, which piece of gear you use, what sort of music you like, are such a waste of time and energy that I just can't get behind them. And I've spent 2020 just realizing that and going, there's just not enough time to waste. There's not enough time to worry about it. And earlier in the year, to be full disclosure, there was a few people that were giving me some grief, that were making some comments. And in the past, I'll be like, oh, I need to help this person. I kind of realized that, yeah, I'll help. I'll give them the time of day. I'll give them a couple of opportunities. I'll try my best. At some point, I've kind of made the realization that some folks just want to be down there. Some people want to be down in the negative. I just want to be up in the positive. And sometimes it just doesn't work. Just like some people will come to my channel and they'll go, I don't like this guy, I don't like his approach, I don't like his style, and they won't subscribe and they'll leave. That's actually great. That's a good thing. I don't want those folks to come here and subscribe and bring negativity and any sort of a hatred to the channel. So that's a good thing. Other people will come and say, hey, I dig what this guy's doing and I want to be part of this community, and that's cool. So yeah, I don't want to oversimplify it. I know it's more complex than that, but really, that's been my approach and that's been my big learning. So I say all that to say, shout out to some of the folks that have been around the channel here a lot during the year. And I'm going to miss a bunch of people, but Cam, Deep Gravity, who's over there in Melbourne, you've been an inspiration and been a great supporter. Some of the patrons and some of the regulars that we have here, Thomas, Scott, Bubba, Tom Kewell, SM Borthwick, you folks are all cool. We've got Andy, Andy and Stu, the Indigo Sunsets. You guys are doing great. My brother from another mother, Mike at Creative Source. Hope you're doing well, Mike. Love you, mate. Gary Hubbs, you've come onto the scene and just exploded in the last sort of couple of months, and it's been cool, very cool. Your sense of humor and again the positive energy that you bring to the channel and to everything you do is very, very cool. And there's so many people that I'm going to have forgotten. And again, I should have prepared a big list. The risk of doing something like this is I'm going to forget a whole bunch of people when I do this. Sion, I'm just going to look in the chat here now so I don't get... Sion, who's been moderating the channel for a very long time here. We've had newer folks like Capsulam jump in, Sublime, Rue, Russ has been around the channel and doing good things and has recently become a patron. And in fact, let's go over and I'll go to Patreon because this will help me out. This way, I'll at least have given a shout out to everyone who is currently a patron of the channel. So let's jump in and grab my patrons so that and I know, look, again, I'm not going to be able to get to everyone here as well, but I'm going to at least try the best that I can here. So patrons: Russ, Doctor's Orders, Steve. I know you've had an interesting year, a bit of a roller coaster, mate. I hope you're doing well. Josh Gates, of course. Van Robertson. We've got Dave, Lewis, Deep Gravity. We've talked about Gary Hubbs, Binny Sandhu, Tom, RW, Rich, Bubba, Lady Rodeline, of course. Yes, Ayush. Hello, Christian, Caroline, Tim Thompson, Helena, Martin Hammett, Bob, Church, Patrick Chandler of the Chandler Brothers fame. You and your brother Sebastian, Cyril, Cecil. Sorry, Sean. I get your name wrong all the time. We've got, our friend Ian, Bill, Stu, Greg, James, Daniel, Andrew, Marcus, Tobias, Scott, Stian, Thomas, Michael, Sion, Mike, Mobile Music, Dave, Steve, Greg, Leo, Steve, P. Kirby. We've got Case, Cliff, Kurt, Lars, and on the second page, let's not forget Laurie and our buddy Patrick from the GarageBand Guide. Yeah, that's how good a man Patrick is. And I'm glad that I did that because I almost left him off the list. But of course, our buddy Patrick at the GarageBand Guide, fellow YouTubers Dan Baker, Dean Davis, all of the YouTube crew, and all the GarageBand crew as well. Yeah, you folks have been massive supporters and influencers of me. And you might be thinking, I've left a name off there, haven't I? Why haven't you mentioned Jade Star, Pete? That's an absolute, it's a bloody outrage, it is. I'm going straight to the Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister. No, sorry. But yes, of course, Jade Star has been moderator, drummer, friend, and counterpart. And watching her channel grow and her How to App series and show grow over the last 12 months has been phenomenal. She's absolutely crushing it as well. I know I've missed someone super fundamental and important. So if it's you that I've missed, I apologize. Like I said, these are a tough thing to do. Barry Smith, Merry Christmas to you. These are a tough things to do, and to make sure I find everyone that that has been an influence and has been helping out. But there you go. I've at least made sure that we've ticked off all the awesome folks who have been supporting me over on Patreon, as well as all the wonderful folks here in the chat. Let's come on back and let's just see if we've got anything that's gone well this year. Yeah, there's a link, by the way. Teespring.com is where you need to go if you want to set up your own merch. It works well. Aman says his highlight is that I bought an iPad. That is cool. Absolutely. My daughter is saving for an iPad right now. She's used my old iPads, but she wants her own brand new in the box experience iPad, and she's been saving her ass off for like 6 months, and she's nearly there. So yeah, it all starts with that first step, right? First step is get an iPad. For Jade, it has been the How To App show on her channel. And what are you, 140 episodes in? Yeah, something ridiculous. Stu released an album. Stu, like a couple of years ago, if someone said to you, you and Andy, you're going to release an album, what would you say? You reckon? You reckon? Yeah, it's a bit crazy, isn't it? What we've got here, LA Methwitch getting a Scooter 9-box Max. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Let's see. Russ says it cuts the comments with the keypad open on an iPad using the bubble setting. It cuts the comments out with the keypad open. Ah, does it? With the bubble setting. Well, we'll have to experiment. It's good to know. We'll definitely be experimenting. What's with all the carrots in the chat? What's with all the carrots? Come on. Yes, carrot it up. Carrot it up. Just wanted to stop by and say happy holidays. Thank you. And to you. And to you. It's bad today. Thank you, moderators. Are you having to moderate a little bit? Yeah, it does happen. I think a lot of people are probably bored on Christmas and dropping in to say things. But thank you, as always. I appreciate you. Look at this red water bottle. Happy holidays from CMI Eastside. This was from like a few years ago, and I don't actually own a Toyota, so who knows why that is. Thank you, Bridget. Happy Christmas from the UK. Good to have you here. Sion, starting out my channel and learning new skills in between. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. And Ross says, without trying to be corny, Jade Star has pulled my creativity levels to a new high. That is my highlight of the year. Agree. I think Jade has done that for many folks as well. Tom, getting back to music or getting my YouTube channel started, all of which has been great, but I'll definitely be getting to know so many amazing and awesome people. Yeah, it's all about the people, isn't it, right? At the end of the day, the things and the stuff is all fine, but it's all about the people. Bridget, learning to limit the negative social media noise and not reacting to it. In progress, right? And I still fall into the traps too. Don't get me wrong. I know I said before that, I'm all about the positive now, and no, it can still drag you down, right? But I've become better at blocking out the noise. I said I'm deaf to it. I'm probably not deaf. I'm probably like, I still hear it 20%, but it's like a distant ringing in my ears now. It's just like an annoying mosquito that's buzzing about here that occasionally I have to swat, get away. I try my best. Raging Waterfalls is my favorite song of the year. Yeah, maybe I need to do a 2020 retrospective of the Studio Live Today community. Russ is a superstar. Absolutely. Yeah, there you go. Patreon shout outs for the win. Yeah, I thought that was a good idea. That way, at least cover everyone that's been kind enough to throw a buck or two my way. And speaking of a buck or two, I missed, there it was. I missed Friggsy with the $10 super sticker. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate that. The messy music room sessions. Don't we all have a messy music room? The reason that, like, you can see behind me, and you're like, Pete, your room is so clean. Yeah, there's a reason for that. You can't see what's in front of me. Occasionally, you'll see what's in front of me. And yeah, it don't look quite so good. Happy Ron in the house. Merry Christmas to you and to all a good night. Who have I missed? Have I missed anything from anyone? Dane, hello to you. Thank you. Double hearts and double carrots all round to you. 154 episodes for Jade. Happy Ron. His highlight is my brand new Baby Yoda video with a song of mine. Oh, mate, I don't understand The Mandalorian or Baby Yoda. I'm so bad at memes and trends and any of that stuff. But Ron, you're much better at them. Bridget says, 2020 achieved playing my own song solo at an open mic and jamming with a couple of guitar mates, which I'd done it years ago. It was well worth it. That's my 2021, Bridget. As I said, as I alluded to earlier, live music's coming back soon, and I need to play it. I need to get out there and actually start playing and do some open mics and do some live playing because, you know, I've been doing the happy hour show for how many weeks? Like since March. So about 35 weeks. So every week I play a set and hopefully I've improved. I think I'm getting better at the singing and the playing and the live performance, but I still don't do it in front of people. So maybe that's, no, not maybe. That is on the cards for 2021 because that's something that is outside of my comfort zone and I can't sit here and tell everyone else to get out of their comfort zones while I'm sitting here denying one of the things that I know I need to do. So there you go. Pete, may you please tell if you've got detailed tutorials on individual artists sampling and clearing samples or the economics laws around that. I do have a few videos on copyright and content ID. Sampling is super muddy. As you've probably found out, it's really tough and tricky. So I've never delved into it. It can be hard to get that clearance for the samples, especially if it's a big artist. I'm not the person. Damien Keys, I would check out his channel. He does a lot of stuff on that, and he'd probably have some links off to things like that. So Damien Keys, let me just show you his channel here, and I'll put a link in the chat. He's someone that I turn to when I need sort of more of the industry and the legal kind of side of things. So this is him here. He's a very handsome man too, Damien Keys. So I'll chuck his link in the description. There you go. Check out Damien. I'll handball you over to him. He will set you in the right path. Dwight Bailey, yes, Merry Christmas, and to you and to everyone. See you all again. Yes, Happy Christmas to you all. Righty, there you go. Jade Star's going on tour in Adelaide in 2021 and playing a gig or two with Pete. Yes, I need Jade to come over here and hold my hand and help me get over my fear of public exposure, which is so weird. I know. I do these shows almost on the daily, yet standing out in front of people in my own city. Like I could do this. If you wanted me to go down to the local shopping centre, put my guitar case down and start busking, that's a whole different level, which is very weird, isn't it? It's weird what you get comfort with and then what you have as a challenge. I'll just see, we've got some final comments coming in here. There you go. Sion says it's the opposite for me. I've got to start performing online and streaming. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. A lot of people would be the exact opposite to what I have here, which is that they can do that, but they do the online stuff, like most artists. Like a few artists have got it right. Ben Folds done well. Tim Minchin's done well. A lot of artists, Powderfinger did a big sort of live concert thing, online thing. A lot of the big artists have done it, but so many of them have really struggled because they don't know how to engineer. They don't know how to set up a live stream. They don't know how to do the stuff because it hasn't really ever been their job. It's not their fault. Like, I don't know a lot of the technical side of a lot of the jobs I've done in the past because you don't have to. You need to know your own wheelhouse, right? All right. We will finish off. There you go. We'll be on KC Beat Radio again tonight. The only problem with that, Jade, is I can't find a way to replay it. Like, I missed it last week because I had to do the GarageBand update, and I missed it, and then I couldn't go and find it. So, there you go. All right. Yeah, get the stream working on your phone. Tom says, I wouldn't rush out to play gigs as soon as it's allowed. Wouldn't even think about it until most of the area have been vaccinated. Yeah, look, I agree. And look, I know it's totally different because what I'm about to say is my wonderful wife bought me tickets to a gig that is happening here in February. That is, hang on, I've got to find. It is down at the beach here in Adelaide. And it is called, not Viagogo. Go away, Viagogo. It's there it is, by the sea. So it is, hang on. Accepting cookies. So it is like basically a bunch of old 80s and 90s bands. It's called By the Sea down here in Glenelg. So we're talking Ice House, or a classic Australian band, James Rain, Pete Murray, who I love, Australian singer, Baby Animals, Killing Heidi, Motor Ace, some of the big names in Australian music that many of you would never have heard of. So that's happening in February here in Adelaide because we've got look, I'm not saying we've got it under control, but Australia's had a very different approach to most parts of the world. And I'm not saying that to be flexing and to be saying, oh, yeah, we got it right and you got it wrong. No, we've had rough times. Melbourne were locked down. They had the most significant lockdown in the world. But that was the difference. They stayed locked down for 6 months until they got cases to 0. So that's been the difference between how the approach has been here. It's been very much focused on public health, and I think just that, it's different. It's different, right? So there's no rights and wrongs in this stuff. It's just been a different approach, and thankfully for us, it has been effective. So what we have at the moment is, we've got a small cluster in Sydney at the moment, which cropped up just before Christmas, but most of our states have 0 current active cases, and the only cases coming into the country are those coming into the country from overseas. And we've got a hotel quarantine system where people have to quarantine for 14 days when they come into the country, and that has been keeping things pretty reasonable. That all being said, I'm still not going out there and just saying, yay, complacency for the win, let's just go and do all the things. But in terms of like going and standing on a street corner and busking, that's not going to be high risk for me at the moment. But it's something that, I'd still consider. And open mic nights when they come back, again, there's going to be things, there's going to be social distancing in place. You still can't dance at places. So even at a live gig, you can't actually stand up and dance around. So again, because they think people that are drunk and dance just fall into each other and can't keep their social distance, and that's a bad idea. So there's that. But it's interesting. Yeah, go Ice House, go Ice House. Yeah, gotta be crazy, baby. One of my favorite songs of all time. And Man of Colours. I'm gonna rock out to some Man of Colours today. That is an epic album from back in '87, I reckon. Anyway, so there we go. Frigsy says 2020 was pretty crap. I'm pretty sure plenty of people can attest to that. The channel was great find. This channel was a great find in terms of comfort zone. I ended up getting a top 5 and a top 10 download position in Ireland. Believe in yourselves. Absolutely. Believe in yourselves. Do yourself a favor, and just back yourself in. Believe in yourself, and good things will happen. And don't listen to strangers on the internet. Can I tell you that? Don't listen to strangers on the internet, because that's not a path to happiness. It's really not. Alrighty, we are out of time. We're going to finish off. There you go. Back to the daily shows for tomorrow for Jade. So do tune in tomorrow. I'll be kicking things off with a little bit of home studio Q&A love first thing in the morning here. So that's at 12 p.m. on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast, 8 p.m. for you Londoners and those in the Greenwich Mean Time, and you can convert it wherever else you are. And then Jade's back with How to App. And then we're going to have a very laid-back, casual happy hour tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to take a break in the lunch break from the cricket and play some tunes and enjoy and hang out and do some things. So that should be a lot of fun. What I reckon you should do now, if you're looking for some more fun, if you've had your Christmas, you're sitting there in your food coma, I reckon you should jump over to the Metalhead Hippie. Because it's a channel that I've only discovered in the last few months. Jeff over there, the hippie, he's got his hippies ho-ho holiday hang. Alone, come on in. Other people, come on in. So he's doing some giveaways, some music, some all sorts of things going on over there. So if you want a little bit more, if this wasn't enough and you're like, Pete, don't go watch the cricket and drink beer, hang out with us, I got to go because, important priorities, right? cricket, beer, priorities. But if you do want some more, I've just dropped the link down there for those on Facebook and YouTube. You can check that one out. Yeah, please do, if you are not already a patron and you want more of the behind the scenes, some of the stuff we talked about today about, you know, optimizing for YouTube, about releasing videos, about merchandising, about the business side of things. I do cover more of that, and we also do some behind the scenes music stuff and tech stuff as well on the Patreon channel. So it's this, but more. So if you want more, then join us over on patreon.com/PeteJohns. But that is going to do it. A merry, happy, jolly Christmas to you all. I hope you have/had a good one. And yeah, well, I'll see you around the channel. See you here tomorrow for home studio Q&A on the channel. Get those questions ready to go because the form is open now. You can start throwing your questions in there. But until next time, please be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Keep creating and have a